Well, by this time next week, it will be the last day of the month of February 2025. Welcome on board. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much for always making it a deal to wake up with us here on Good Morning Uganda. The team of 4 is here to ensure that your Fridays get to start, or we kickstart your Fridays in the best way we can. Information, news, and of course breakdown of analysis. But since it is a Friday, the entertainment beat takes the lion's share of the show, so be ready, because we do have a lineup of entertainers that will be led by Andrea Baguma, who will also be here on Good Morning Uganda Friday edition to ensure that you have the best for your Friday. The 21st of Feb is already ahead of us, so I don't know how far the week has been for you, our dear viewer, but for us as the team Good Morning Uganda, it is time for us to treat it as we've been treating every other weekday. It is already time for us to get into what is making headlines. But first, if I'm to give you back, if I'm to take you back to how the week has been looking like in terms of current affairs and what has been happening from the news arena here in Uganda. Looking at it from the Uganda Police released the annual crime report for 2024. This particular report showed or showcased the fact that crime rate in the country decreased by 4.1%, or there was a reduction in the crime rate by 4.1%. However, the other concern though is that when it comes to cases of accidents, they were increasing, especially during the weekends. Saturdays, Sundays and Mondays is when the police had more reports of road crashes in regards to the accidents. But then also when you look at the crime report in the same regard, the Uganda Police revealed that the issue to do with substance abuse is one of that still tops the list, or what you could definitely call as the use of narcotics in the country increase. So we need to be very, very cautious and also mindful of our colleagues that use that as an escape plan for whatever is affecting their lives. But then also in the same week, we got to realize that the government withdrew the UPDF bill that is going to be subject for discussion in the NRM caucus on Friday, which is today. And of course, they will then later on reintroduce a bill. So we wait to see if they will reintroduce the bill or they will leave it to that. Because according to new developments, the government withdrew the UPDF bill 2024 to comply with the Supreme Court ruling, according to the government chief whip, Honorable Hamson Obua rather. But then also, many developments coming in from there reveal that the NRM members of parliament will meet for caucus and have a discussion on the same. And in the other regard, or in the same regard, from the Uganda Communications Commission, government has banned stage plays and concerts without UCC permission. So you can see the developments that have made this particular week. But hey, there has been a lot happening within the country, including the ruling of retired Colonel Dr. Kiza Besigye. But I need to know what made the week for my colleagues. In Studio B, I have Uncle Bob and Julie F. Nantaba Msisi. And here in Studio B, rather in Studio A, I do have Olive Monica Najuma. And we're going to be driving the conversations, the discussions, the analysis, and more when it comes to the entertainment and giving you the news that matter most for your Friday morning. Let me head to Studio B and see how the two are doing. Gentleman and lady, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Jerome. How are you?
I am well. How are you doing,
Very
Julie?
well, thank you. I think what has made the week for me still continues to be the Kawempe North by-election. It is serious, but also it has a bit of drama in it. Things that will still make you laugh, but also the fact that this week we saw DP endorsing Henry Kasaka. And then yesterday, Uganda Federal Alliance endorsed Fahad Kayondo. But also the fact, looking at the bit of Noop, where the late Honorable Muhammad Sejirinya's aide chose to run independently. Yet he still claims that he is loyal and he's still actually says that he is very loyal to the NUP party, but because the residents of Kawempe North constituency need solutions, he chose to stand and be the solution, but also looking into the fact that he still had to go ahead and change his religion and name just so he is very capable to win the election. Funny how religion is still plays a big part in when it comes to politics, but it's one of the things that I think have stood out for me. And yeah, indeed, very laughable.
Well, indeed, it's very laughable. And tell you what, our dear viewer, by the way, is that when you look at how far we are going this very year, the 2026 election curve kind of looks very, very close. So I don't know how we are going to be in 2026 come January when we are casting our ballots. But one of the most interesting thing and surprising thing is that the more numbers we are having for the Kawempe by-election poses a big question on, do these people really know that we only want one candidate for that spot? Because every day we are seeing new faces, and new faces only imply tight competition. Uncle Bob, how are you doing today?
I'm fine. How are you?
I am well.
Well, looking at the week, for me, two things stood out. One is we've always shown how Ugandans are very entrepreneuring and they start very good businesses. But that report by Mastercard Foundation that brought it out clearly that only 8% of these businesses make it beyond 15 years. Now that was a shocker to me, and I asked myself, now what happens? Every day someone is starting a shop, someone is starting a business, but if these businesses don't last, many countries, people inherit businesses as well. And they will give you examples. This was started by my father. I've just expanded it. Now the other story that caught my attention is yesterday actually when the A-level selections kicked off, the senior 5 selections kicked off, senior 4 moving to senior 5. Now, what is funny, this is under the new grading system, which of course caused a lot of confusion to many people. But yesterday, the Permanent Secretary and Ministry of Education emphasized that there is a new curriculum for A-level that is competent based. To the best of my knowledge, senior 5s are starting on the 3rd of March. Now, we are talking of a new curriculum, not the abolition, but a new curriculum.
Robert, in the same development of the A-level curriculum, rather the A-level selections yesterday, I've also seen news making rounds that many schools decided to change their cutoff points. Is there anything you learned about the same? To change their cutoff points that has left a number of students who had selected them as first choice to lose out on the sports.
Definitely, and I was listening to some of the representatives of various schools. Now, when one says, for us, yes, it has to be result 1, but we are taking only when you have 7 A's and maybe a B. And others were saying, for us, if you're going to do a subject, you must have an A in that subject for us to give you a science. So a science combination, you must have only a A or a B for that. Now for arts, you must have a B or a C if you're going to take arts. Now it's very complicated, I must say, and many parents are going to find it very hard moving, because now you're not going all about first grade, but you're going to a school that are going to analyze, okay, do you have any combination we can give your child? Because if your child got a B, a C, and maybe a B about many of those, so they will tell you, but you don't have a combination for this person, because now they are looking at the score in terms of the letters, the new grading, how they are going to give you a combination. Now, previously, maybe you just had these cutoff points, but now it's a bit hard, and I see still many students missing the schools. They thought they will go to where they give their first choice, and unfortunately, they are not able to make it.
Okay, and now it's time for me to check on the lady I'm tagging along here with in Studio A. Very good morning, Olive. How are you doing today?
I'm fine, I'm fine. How are you?
I am well. I am well up and about, and Friday's here, I should say.
Yeah, Friday is here, and it's a beautiful day, though I think there is a bit of a sadness to it, but we'll get into that a bit later on. Now, going to the A-level cutoff points, according to the Uganda National Examinations Board, they say that if a student got C's, especially in science subjects, this week when we were talking to UNEB's public relations officer, Jennifer Kaule, she said they would advise that that student doesn't pursue sciences. Because if you had a C, then it's risky for you to go with sciences. But then I wonder why students that have Bs are being segregated against by schools saying we only want A's. Yeah. Now this beats the rationale of the new curriculum, because according to UNEB and the National Curriculum Development Center, they think or they believe that if someone has an A and then a B, because A is outstanding,
yes,
B is moderate, both of them mean that the learning outcomes, many of the learning outcomes were achieved. Now, if a school says we are only taking A's, they're taking us back
7 A's.
to the whole idea of you must have D1. Exactly.
Minimum so D2.
It feels, thank you very much. So it feels like we have come out of something to get into something different. In as much as the UNEB, the Curriculum Development Center, have gone to great lengths to explain to us, to help us understand that no one is a failure, especially if they have an A or a B. And when it comes to the weighting that they are using to select the students, I remember she did note that they might use the weighting of A level, where A stands for a 6 and B stands for a 5.
For a 5.
That is still passing.
Hey.
So I don't get it, but I should say good morning, dear viewer. I didn't say that in the beginning, but good morning, and I thank you for being here with us today. We are going to have a beautiful, beautiful show. And Jerome, the other story for me that has stood out for me this week is the fact that the United States and Russia had peace talks over the Ukrainian war without Ukraine being in the room. Now, the whole of Europe is so mad that they were not involved in that room when decisions were being made regarding European security. But if I might take you back to 1885, the whole of Europe decided to sit in Berlin and decided to scramble and partition Africa without Africa in the room. So, in the words of Shakespeare, the wheel does come full circle, and I love it.
And of course, we've gathered a lot of news for you, our dear viewers, starting with the local scene. And in Studio B, the tag team of Robert Nyintono and Julie F. Nantaba will be leading the proceedings from that regard.
Yes, indeed. And now looking at matters, education and AI, the Chancellor of St. Lawrence University, also the Vice President of Uganda, retired Major Jessica Alupo, has urged higher institutions of learning to embrace artificial intelligence, a mandatory requirement in the education sector for a holistic and bright future. Alupo's remarks came at the 15th graduation ceremony of St. Lawrence University, situated in Rubaga Division, Kampala. The day's celebrations were earmarked by a procession that led the 15th graduation, where over 520 students graduated in different doctrines with certificate of recognition, diploma, and degree, among other disciplines. While presiding over the function, Major Jessica Alupo urged government and public institutions of learning to embrace and adopt the growing trend of artificial intelligence. Alupo implored the Russian ambassador's good working relationship with St. Lawrence University, which created a partnership with Russia's Renu University that will support and necessitate the transformative power of AI to pursue education. The keynote speaker, also the Executive Director of Uganda Communications Commission, Nyombi Tembo, made government's commitment to enhancing the use of AI by bridging the gaps, making internet accessible, affordable, and reliable countrywide. However, the citizenry and graduates in particular were warned against challenges that could erupt if AI is misused, citing an impact to ethics and moral decay. Charles Masaba reiterated that the growing interest in robust ICT integrated with AI will facilitate resource allocation. The University Council was put to task, emphasize on proactive policies and budget proposals for AI. The graduates were advised to be goodwill ambassadors when they step out and practice professional skills in a professional way.
And moving on, the Deputy Attorney General Kafuzi Jackson has told Parliament that all files that were under court-martial have been transferred to the DPPs as directed by the Supreme Court. This is in response to the recent Supreme Court ruling disqualifying the court-martial from trying civilians. The onus is now left with the DPP to sanction the respective files accordingly. Kafusi's statement sparked mixed reactions as some members of Parliament have continued to object the procedure of implementation of the Supreme Court judgment. The Minister of ICT and National Guidance, Dr. Chris Baryomunsi, addressed a press conference at the Media Center regarding the ongoing trial of Dr. Kizza Besigye and the abduction of members of opposition from the National Unity Platform. Dr. Chris Baryomunsi urged the public to leave Besigye's matter for the court to decide and advised the public to get proper information from trained medical experts about Besigye's health. The ICT minister also urged the public not to misinterpret the difference between arrest and abduction, since members of opposition from the National Unity Platform displayed a chaotic character following a circulating video on the internet about a member of the party, NUP, threatening to cause harm to opposition members of the NRM party.
Now, looking at matters, K9 police report from the 2024 crime report, the police managed to apprehend several suspects with the help of sniffer dogs. Over 15,000 arrests were made, more than 5,000 suspects were taken to court, and 6,000 exhibits were recovered. The same report revealed 8 cases of drug trafficking and an 8% increase in marine crime. The just released 2024 crime report revealed that the Uganda Police Force K9 unit tracked 19,899 cases, with 1,902 cases handled in May, the highest of the year. Cases were also high in this same month in 2023, and in 2024, 15,579 arrests were made compared to 16,341 in 2023. Of those arrested, 13,409 were male adults, 1,354 were female adults, 743 were male juveniles, and 73 were female juveniles. A total of 5,520 of the suspects were taken to court, with 6,920 exhibits recovered, compared to 6,554 in 2023. Overall, there was a reduction in the tracking of cases, a decrease in arrests, and an increase in exhibits recovered. The performance of the K9 unit has been enhanced with the operationalization of a breeding and training program for dogs, including deploying 2 sniffer dogs at every police station nationwide. And in 2024, Interpol intercepted 7 drug traffickers, including 2 cases of cocaine, 2 cases of methamphetamine, and 1 case of opium. The suspects included 5 males, 3 females, and 4 suspects were sentenced to fines of 10 to 20 million shillings. 1 case was dismissed and 1 case is still pending. Marine crimes registered an 8% increase, with 190 offenses in 2024 compared to 176 in 2023. Of these, 119 cases were related to drowning, 34 cases involved robbery on the water, and 6 cases each were related to armed robbery and boat capsizing. The report indicates that the majority of the cases occurred on Lake Victoria, with 130 incidents, followed by Lake Albert with 17 and Lake Choga with 14. A total of 152 males and 26 females died, while 130 people were rescued.
And moving on, the Inter-Religious Council of Uganda is proposing that Parliament should consider passing the National Legal Aid Bill 2022 that will ensure access to justice for the vulnerable and marginalized persons in matrimonial matters. The Council was submitting its views on the Marriage Bill 2024 to the Parliamentary Joint Committee on Legal and Gender. In the same meeting, the Council also proposed for the removal of Clause 3, subsection 1 in the bill that provides for any other type of marriages as may be recognized by the minister by a statutory instrument. Parliamentary Joint Committee of Legal and Gender received the last submissions from the Central Region regarding the Marriage Bill 2024. According to the Interreligious Council of Uganda, should that clause not be deleted, it will empower the line minister to create new forms of marriage. While as the bill pushes to criminalize cohabitation, the Interreligious Council of Uganda says there is need to offer adequate protection of rights to parties. The Church of Uganda also emphasized on the definition of marriage, how some members of parliament cautioned the Interreligious Council of Uganda on Christian doctrines on polygamy, where some Christians presented views seeking to legalize the act. And with that, we come to the end of our local stories.
The local stories, we now turn our focus to what is making headlines across the borders.
And across the borders, 3 buses have exploded in Israel in suspected terror attack, this according to the country's police. 3 buses have exploded in Bat Yam, south of Tel Aviv, in what Israeli police say is a suspected terror attack. Devices in 2 other buses failed to explode, they said, adding that large police forces are at the scenes searching for suspects. Transport Minister Miri Regev paused all buses, trains and light rail trains in the country so that checks for explosive devices could be carried out, Israeli media reported. Footage on social media shows that at least 1 bus was caught on fire in a parking lot with a large plume of smoke rising above. There have been no reports of casualties at this stage, this according to the police. Police spokesperson Ariel Doron said the event is ongoing with officers trying to locate more bombs in Tel Aviv. Our forces are still scouring the area, Doron told Channel 12, adding that the public must be on alert for every suspected bag or object. We may be lucky if indeed the terrorists set these timers to the wrong hour, but it's too early to determine, he said. According to a local media station, one of the unexploded devices, weighing 5 kilograms, carried a message saying "Revenge from Tul Karem," referring to a recent Israeli military counterterrorism operation in the West Bank. And moving on, U.S. President Donald Trump's national security advisor has demanded that Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky return to negotiations over a critical minerals deal with the United States amid a deepening rift between Washington and Kyiv. Zelensky had on Wednesday rejected U.S. plans to strike a deal for a share of Ukraine's mineral wealth to repay Washington for wartime aid, saying the U.S. offered no specific security guarantees in the agreement. He needs to come back to the table, Mike Waltz said of Zelensky at a press briefing on Thursday. President Trump is obviously very frustrated right now with President Zelensky. The fact that he hasn't come to the table, that he hasn't been willing to take this opportunity that we have offered, he said. The comments came shortly after the U.S. cancelled a planned news conference with Zelensky and the U.S. envoy in Kyiv. The Ukrainian leader had planned to address the media alongside Lieutenant General Keith Kellogg, the U.S. envoy for Ukraine, following talks in Kyiv on Thursday. Now coming back to East Africa, the M23 armed group is advancing on strategic zones in the Eastern Democratic Republic of the Congo after taking 2 key cities, the United Nations warned, underscoring the threat of a regional conflict. Recent weeks have seen the rapid progression of the Rwanda-backed M23, which has seized vast tracts of the eastern DRC, including Goma and Bukavu. If our information is correct, the M23 continues to advance towards other strategic areas in North and South Kivu. The UN Secretary General's Special Envoy for the Great Lakes region, Huang Xie, told the Security Council. He said while the deep intentions of the M23 and their support remain unknown, the risk of a regional conflagration is more real than ever, adding that such a conflict would have catastrophic consequences. The fighting in recent weeks has raised fears of a repeat of the Second Congo War from 1998 to 2003, which drew in multiple African countries and resulted in millions of deaths from violence, disease, and starvation. The head of the United Nations peacekeeping mission in the DRC, Bintou Keita, also expressed concern about the advance of the M23, now at the junction of the three borders between DRC, Rwanda, and Burundi.
Well, now back here, we look at what the press is reporting this Friday from the context of our press review. We start off with the New Vision, which talks matters. The cut-off points for Senior 5, new grading kicks out affirmative action. And then also stolen cows return to government farm at night, according to new developments, as Museveni attributes UPDF's success to fighting just causes. Pictorial of the President and the First Lady interacting with the outgoing Bishop of West Buganda Diocese, Henry Katumba, at the 14th Annual Tarehe Sita Thanksgiving service at the UPDF Army Headquarters in Mbuya, Kampala. Now, the European Union grants, the European Union does grant 83 billion shillings to boost green enterprises and mining, as what you missed at the Harvest Money Expo is all in today's New Vision. Schools to seek ministry permission for tours, according to new developments. Also, the Daily Monitor, top schools tighten A-level entry grades. Now, tough selection. Top schools across the country yesterday admitted to Senior 5 students who scored only A and B grades in the 2025 UCE exams, with those seeking science combinations required to have only A's, and unselected learners offered to other schools. Also, Aga Khan University hits 5,000 graduate milestone. As in the Scoop magazine, it's deep. The good old days with Pademan, and military court sends Besigye file to the DPP. More details in the Daily Monitor. To Kenya now, the Daily Nation writes, members of parliament fury over secret 73 billion Kenyan shillings in Mbadi budget. Queries, which between 4.263 trillion Kenyan shillings and 4.336 trillion Kenyan shillings is the right figure? Questions are there. Now, in the Ulster bid, Waigachangwa ruling could haunt Kome and the Supreme Court judges in Kenya. Africa eyes tech-savvy youth to grow economies. That is also with the Daily Nation. And then Christmas in captivity, my 15 days of horror at the hands of abductors. Someone shares her story. And then also crisis as private hospitals to suspend SHA in payroll. Then 15 DCI NIS officers charged over killings of 2 Indians linked to 2022 Ruto campaigns. Lastly, from the regional scene, mixed views of a fresh order on death penalty, writes the Citizen in Tanzania. Also, what Tanzania's hosting of regional forum on gastronomy means for the country, as NMB Bank to empower entrepreneurs and transform households with 100 billion Tanzanian shillings fund. Then there is a high hope ahead of Coffee Summit, as also government is promised on healthcare delivery amid US aid freeze. That is with the Citizen. Now back to Uganda, the Gazette. Now the Gazette writes something rather interesting. The contents today include the Commissioner for Oath Advocates Act notice. There is also the Electricity Act notice, the Education Pre-Primary, Primary and Post-Primary Act notices, the Advocates Act notices, the Companies Act notices, the Insolvency Act notices, among other notices in today. But then there is also Nuwama Nyamorin, who has been appointed as an advocate of the High Court, as appointed to be a commissioner for the Oath under the Oath Advocates Act Commission, and signed by the Chief Justice Alfonso Chigamoy Owini Doro, the Chief Justice. And then there is also a policy direction with respect to the development of the 20 megawatt solar PV power plant by Photon Power Uganda Limited in Soroti District. That is also with the Uganda Gazette. Now, the most interesting bit is that when we do return, we do have entertainers that are going to rock your Friday. And boy, what a lineup we do have. Andrea Baguma will lead the lineup, but then later on we shall also be having Olivia Namakula, who will also be here to entertain but also inspire your mornings here on Good Morning Uganda Friday edition. And also in our newsreel, we shall be having a conversation on the involvement of celebrities into Uganda's political arena. How about that for a lineup? But first, our song of the day coming in from Dr. Jose Chameleon, who is a man who has been in the news since the end of 2024. And this particular song is titled Baliwa. Good morning.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda. UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Well, by this time next week, it will be the last day of the month of February 2025. Welcome on board. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much for always making it a deal to wake up with us here on Good Morning Uganda. The team of 4 is here to ensure that your Fridays get to start, or we kickstart your Fridays in the best way we can. Information, news, and of course breakdown of analysis. But since it is a Friday, the entertainment beat takes the lion's share of the show. So be ready, because we do have a lineup of entertainers that will be led by Andrea Baguma.
Morning Uganda. In a nation hungry for truth, a world where every story matters, there exists a beacon of trust and reliability. For decades, they've been our voice and our window to the world, holding the mirror of our history. With 4 TV stations and 11 radio channels spanning 27 languages, They stand as guardians of information, defenders of truth. With Mascari Heritage Advantage, they uphold every citizen's right to reliable and free information. Their archived stories shaped our past and illuminate our present. Yet now, as new challenges arise and the world evolves, their mission faces its greatest test yet. Be part of our journey and let's navigate the unknown, uncover the untold, and safeguard our future together. Tune into your public broadcaster, for it is the intersection of trust and truth. Because to UBC, your story, and every voice matters. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
All right, and here we are for that bit of the entertainment. Thank you very much for sticking around to Good Morning Uganda Friday edition. I hope all of you are doing well, because Friday is one of the best days of the week when it comes to the corporate world of Uganda. For those who are always working within white-collar jobs, they love Fridays because it kicks off their weekend. It kicks off the time when they get to relax, relieve the stress, and go again the following week. The 21st of February has found us having Andere Baguma leading the entertainment this morning. Good morning, Andere. How are you doing?
Good morning, sir. I'm doing well.
Okay. And my viewer would like to know what songs you prepared for him, because we do not want to do a lot of talking for now. We want to get right into the action.
I have a song called I Am Ugandan, Passenger, and Girl from Chisas for now.
I did have a girl from Chisas.
You did? We're about to find out.
But for now, ladies and gentlemen, our dear viewer, let's leave the set for Andre Baguma to first of all get you in the mood of the Friday that we want to set today. Good morning.
Mulire muta, tulireje, olyota ndikulungi. Mwasuze mutyeyo, twasuze bulungi. Kodeyo munati koba wazira nsonga. Oyizeyo tuliyo. Eternity at my bed. It's the culture, unstoppable. It's the culture I can. 'Cause I am Ugandan. I am Ugandan. I am Ugandan. I am Ugandan. Oyo ninze, ninze, ninze. Oyo ninze, ninze, ninze. Oyo nyoe, nyoe, nyoe. Oyo nyoe, nyoe, nyoe.
you're designed, right from the skies to the ground to the weather. It's a glance that I get every morning as I watch the beauty of the sunrise. It's a glance unstoppable. It's a view I can't miss. 'Cause I am Ugandan. I am Ugandan. I am Ugandan. I am Ugandan. Oh, you ninze, ninze, ninze. Oh, you ninze, ninze, ninze. Oh, nyowe, nyowe, nyowe. Oh, you ninze, ninze, ninze. 'Cause I am Ugandan. I am Ugandan. I am Ugandan. I am Ugandan. From Chisasi, uyo ntinda atuse kamucha ate uli ekiwatule nze namusanga najjera naye mpulira ngu nekiraberayo kyebando makerere mukerere kasubi essubi alikumye. She had bright eyes and a wounded smile and a big black backpack too heavy for shoulders too strong. She walked straight to me unafraid. The little girl knelt down and said, please help me and my sister. Please buy my music CD. Can you see me? Look into my eyes. We just trying to live. We just trying to live. So she handed me a faded old CD, so scratched that I asked myself if it had any music on it. She said, believing what I said, and so I wanted to know more. And then the little girl went on and said, to afford the living, I have to move around. I have to move from town to town. I have to vendor all I have, but all I got is the music. All I have is the music. All I have is the music. See, all we have is the music. All I have is the music. All I got is the music. All I have is the music. See, all we have is the music. Please help me and my sister. Please buy my music CDs. Can you hear me? Look into my eyes. We just trying to live. We trying. We trying. We trying. Ooh. Ooh. kyolina kola kyolina kola gwe toloba kola kyolina kola kyolina kola gwe to 7 days, 7 nights, another week, another month, before you end another year. What are you up to? Zenkulabo papala tengo budde bukuyitako ololo byetuwulira buliwe bikutabukako n'okuba endulu like wolala 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 gwe tomanyi tuli bayisi buyisi. We're just passengers. Affe tuli batambuze butambuze nnyabo. We're just passengers. Kola kyolina kola kola kyolina kola gwe toloba kola kyolina kola kyolina kola gwe to 7 days, 7 nights, another week, another month, before you end another year. What are you up to? Time flies like bye, and it doesn't mean a thing to you. Wine, wait, it doesn't go your way. When life gets hard, you'd rather run away like, ooh, we tomanyi tuli bayisi buyisi. We just passengers. Affe tuli batambuze butambuze nnyabo. We just passengers. Kola kyolina kola gwe toloba kola kyolina kola kyolina kola gwe toloba. Opportunity not for minority. When you lack that sensitivity, it goes into vanity. It goes into vanity. Tuli bayisi buyisi. We're just passengers. Agwe oloba n'ogenda ogonda banno bakuyita kawo n'okolima n'otandika n'okweloza mbuno bandoze lwaki bampitako kirabika abo bandoga. You do what you gotta do. You do what you gotta do. Kola kyolina kola kola kyolina kola gwe toloba kola kyolina kola kola kyolina kola gwe toloba toloba toloba.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
In a nation hungry for truth, a world where every story matters, there exists a beacon of trust and reliability. For decades, they've been our voice and our window to the world, holding the mirror of our history. With 4 TV stations and 11 radio channels spanning 27 languages, they stand as guardians of information, defenders of truth. With Mascari Heritage Advantage, they uphold every citizen's right to reliable and free information. Their archive stories shaped our past and illuminate our present. Yet now, as new challenges arise and the world evolves, their mission faces its greatest test yet. Be part of our journey and let's navigate the unknown, uncover the untold, and safeguard our future together. Tune into your public broadcaster, for it is the intersection of trust and truth. Because to UBC, Your story, and every voice matters. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Pick of the day on UBC.
One-on-one with Michael Jordan Lukomwao.
A weekly face-to-face conversation focusing on accountability, inspiration, information, and sensitization of the public from the various sources, such as inspirational profiles.
Having a disability is not inability.
Every Friday 9 p.m., it's one-on-one with Michael Jordan Lukomwao.
Don't you see anywhere that you would give a credit in the fight against COVID?
My role as the owner of the country is not to, be preoccupied by giving credit to my servant.
We have said that if we are to talk to General Museveni, there must be certain conditions in place.
Is it true that you paid 5 million shillings to MPs that voted for?
Was brought to you by.
I'll call you every day, yeah, yo, baby,
You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks. Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000. Or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21# and select daily, or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable. Juko. Yo. Check the shopping, man. What's your secret?
Haven't you heard of the parish development model PDM?
Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk.
No, it is real. I and a few friends together formed a circle, accessed money from the PDM, invested in a poultry project, and now things are moving.
Juko. I thought I was one of your friends.
You are.
But you left me behind.
I didn't leave you in poverty. But what you do, just visit your LC2 chairperson and your parish chief and start the process of economic transformation. Just like that. The parish development model is an initiative from the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Local Government designed to transform all lives of Ugandans for the better. PDM, my parish, my development, my life.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
All right, good morning and good to have your company with us. We are into our newsreel this Friday. I hope you're okay. We are okay, full in the spirits of ensuring that we inspire you this very Friday morning. I have two ladies that have joined me for this conversation, Olive Monica Najuma and Julie F. Nantabamosisi, who joins us as well to have a conversation on the involvement of celebrities, performers, musicians, name it, into the political space or into the political arena. A conversation that many of us have been having in our usual kafundas, or a conversation that we usually have when we are just casually having conversations, I should say. But here we are on national television having it as the bit of the discussion as well. You can be part of this conversation, by the way, by sharing your opinion and your view on why you feel, let's say, entertainers or celebrities should not involve themselves in politics. But then also, if you feel they should fully involve themselves into active politics, share your thoughts and opinions on the same. The Friday edition conversations have started. Good morning, Olive, and good morning, Julie.
Good morning.
All right. I love the fact that we are all moving with the same energy. Now, for now, I will start with Olive with this. We've seen so many entertainers, we've seen so many musicians or artists, let's say people in the field of MDD joining active politics. And it has been the trend over the years. However, it seems to be growing year in, year out. And we now have so many of those actively engaging in the politics. What is your take on that?
Does this also include Rivolu promoters?
Yes.
Because
if at all these public figures hit the celebrity status?
For instance, Balam Barugahara, a renowned event promoter, is now a minister, a state minister for youth and children affairs. And I mean, he holds a lot of water, and he has a lot of power when it comes to anything to do with entertainment. So he's there. And then the other is Eddie Kenzo, who is a presidential special advisor on creatives, who is also not really in active politics, but at the same time, that position is a bit political in its capacity, because he's supposed to be advising the president, who is a politician, on issues to do with creatives. So, creatives joining politics. Jerome, this has two sides to it, and there is a lot of nuance when it comes to it, because one, the Constitution provides that Ugandans above the age of 18 and above have a right to contest for office, and if the Ugandan people see them fit to represent them, then they can go ahead and go into parliament. And if we go back to 2021, we saw the likes of Geoffrey Lutaya, we saw the likes of Dr. Hildeman, that is Hilary Chiaga, and many others joining politics. But also we saw others that lost big, and the likes of those Patrick Omjuka, who did not go through, and we know him as an entertainer. He's a performing artist, he's a dramatist, they call them dramatists? Drama actor, radio personality, to mention but the like. So, celebrities joining politics. We also have media personalities that are currently quitting their jobs to get into politics. So when you ask me, constitutionally they are allowed, but the biggest question here is, away from the politics of popularity, are these people worthy to represent their people? Are they worthy to be in parliament, to be presidential candidates? And I had forgotten to mention right now the president of the biggest opposition party, which is National Unity Platform Party, who we know as a celebrity and a performing artist, that is Bobi Wine, also known as Robert Chagulanyi Sentam. Now, I think some of them have proved beyond reasonable doubt that they can represent their people, that they can speak to their people. And for some of them, like Bobi Wine, before he became a politician, he used to sing music that was aimed at helping Ugandan people, to speak about the plight of Ugandan people. So some people argue that he already had the feelings for the people, he had the heart for the people, and hence him joining politics was a good thing. But then there are other people who are in parliament, and one wonders, why are they there? Have you ever heard their voice in the last 5 years speaking in parliament? And in most cases, the question is no. So whether it is an artist or a lawyer or a doctor, personally, I think if they have the capability, if they have the capacity, if they have the manifesto and the intention to serve the people, then they deserve it.
Well, indeed, and it's right for any citizen to involve themselves in the politics of this country. That is why you will definitely see many Ugandans calling out their favorite musicians, favorite celebrities to speak about anything that is wrong and happening in the country. Julie, when you look at the political arena, it is growing. However, we've seen so many people getting into the political space, and then the entertainers on the other side having a bigger voice, and then the intellectuals failing at it. So when you look at this, it has opened up room for conversation on should we invite more celebrities into the political space?
I think, in my own opinion, yes. But I think let's just take it back in the day. The quality of musicians we had. Now, I speak about this because I've had the opportunity, by the grace of God, to have been raised in a musical family. And at least I got acquainted with the type of music that was around me, the message that was around me, the person who's closest to me, the music he put out there and all of that. And you could tell that his music was all about speaking to the masses, but in different ways, sensitization, impacting community, which is pretty much still the same with some artists, right? But many times when we look at the quality of politicians who are celebrities before, being active in politics right now, I wonder what if artists of the old, of back in the day, who were so big in Uganda, who impacted Uganda, just what if with the type of message they had, chose to actually be a part of politics. Perhaps they could have mentored, perhaps they could have helped, perhaps they could have been able to walk hand in hand with the new generation to train them to be better. I mean, if we look at other countries and look at politicians who were artists or actors or musicians or comedians, you could tell that they were actually very intentional with their political career. It wasn't about the entertainment or the noise or the clutter. It was about having a message to put out there. Taking a look, just look at, Vladimir Zelensky, the Ukrainian president. He was a comedian, he was an actor, but you could tell that even along his journey, he was very intentional to get into matters that affected his country. The late Shalamwana from Congo, she was a dancer, she was a singer, but you could tell that even in her active political career, she was intentional.
Yes.
And I think the bit of being intentional is what lacks with our space of the political career from artists, entertainers who are now politicians. So many a times I'm thinking how I wish artists of the old who sang quality music, who had great messages, which actually also tells you that music is a tool, a very powerful tool. You know how they always tell us that media is a tool that can affect community or society in whatever way, either negatively or positively. I believe music itself is that powerful tool. Anyone can use it for an ideology, and before you know it, the whole society is turned a certain way. And I believe for me, it's an issue of mentorship, training, holding hands, and Uganda being a youthful country, I'm not so sure if we are also ready to be mentored into spaces that we look forward to be politicians from entertainment. And
you, our dear viewer, can be part of this conversation. The number that you're seeing on your screen is the same number you can send in via SMS or WhatsApp 0709 602 592 and share your opinion on the role of the artist's involvement into politics, or the impact that involvement and endorsement of celebrities has on our Ugandan politics. Now, Olive, we've had also this kind of question in regards to the quality of our celebrities that are involving themselves in the politics. When you look at how our politics are designed or have been designed over the years, those who are supposed to actively involve themselves in the politics are supposed to have a certain level of education.
Yes.
Now, unfortunately, some of our artists fall short of that, or some of our entertainers fall short of education or educational qualification. And it has forced others to even go back for school simply because they want to engage in that. So let's first of all look into that. Is it high time we open room for just intellects, whether you've been through school, whether you've not completed school, but as long as you can serve the people and have sound mind?
Honestly, and I'm not trying to be arrogant here, but Jerome, you cannot have not finished school and intellect in the same sentence.
There's some people who are.
No, you can be brilliant, but let's face it, when we are talking about, okay, in terms of politics,
yes,
you cannot put intellectual and have not finished
school in the same sentence
when it comes to a politician. I want to be very clear. Why am I saying this? You see the quality of politicians we have today. For them, the minimum requirement, especially, I don't know, do you know that for chief administrative officers, they must have an undergraduate degree? But then for members of parliament, the minimum qualification is a senior 6 certificate. Okay? And because of that, we have members of parliament who allegedly, because you've seen in the past where papers have been pulled and then it is revealed that someone had someone else pay the final examinations for them,
yes,
and then the results were rescinded and now the person has to leave parliament. So if you ask me, we need to open parliament to people that at least have an undergraduate degree. Why am I saying this? Look at the quality of debate in Parliament. We used to have a Parliament that was full of intellectuals, that was, for instance, if you're discussing issues finance, we used to have people that have finance degrees. We used to have people that had experience in issues, business, in issues, finance. But now we have senior 6 certificate holders discussing the future of our financial progress as a country in Parliament. They can't discuss fiscal policy because where did they even study about fiscal policy? They cannot interpret like hard legal documents because they don't have an. Let me tell you, Joram, let me ask you. Do you think intellectually you're at the same level you were at in senior 6?
No.
Are you at the same level?
Not at all.
I am not at the same level. I'm not the wisest person, but I believe that continuing with my education to degree level, there is something that was added on to me. So going back to Parliament, I honestly don't know. I honestly don't agree with us having members of Parliament that only have a senior 6 certificate. Now, going back to our artists, we have seen the examination results for some of them. I won't name names, but they were, like for instance, in this new competence-based curriculum, imagine your member of Parliament having gotten E's everywhere. And he's not even qualifying to go for A-level. But then that same person comes back and says, I want to represent you. Now, the problem with popularity politics is that you will put anything and anything in Parliament just because people love it. And I'm not trying to be arrogant here, but to answer your question without saying so many words.
That allow me also interject, maybe add on to what Olive has said. What if, just what if, it also speaks into the nature of who we are as a society.
Uneducated?
Yes, because uneducated, yes.
Okay.
Or maybe unlearned.
Majority of Ugandans are semi-literate.
Many have gone to
school, but the learning,
not many are learned. Does it make sense?
Yes, now that makes sense.
To me, it also speaks, I'm not so sure where we dropped the ball in regards to the generation gap. But still, allow me go back to the people that raised me, people that were around me, people that surrounded me, and the content that surrounded me at that time. I mean, you would tell that people were interested in their education. They did not cram it. They read it. They understood it. They walked it. They walked everything about whatever was in their environment in regards to learning, right? Whilst for us, our time of school has affected us. It's cram work. Thank God for the competency-based approach. Hopefully, it will bring back that gist, that of society. But perhaps society, as a society, we are a certain type of people that allow these things to happen, that send the lukewarm type of members people contesting for parliamentary seats to Parliament, and at the end of the day we cry and shout, but we're the very same people.
Well, ladies, I do have a question, and it goes to the both of you. There is also been an argument that there are artists or there are entertainers, celebrities, name them, that do not involve themselves in the politics of the country, and yet at the end of it all ask their fans for contribution into their space. So many Ugandans have always come out to criticize many of those that have no say when it comes to whatever decision is being made in Parliament, for example, and yet expect these same fans to rally behind them when it comes to their own space.
Okay, I'll go first. I understand and I can answer that question in two ways. people think that for a celebrity to speak about something in the country, then they have aligned themselves with a certain
political
party. For instance, if a celebrity uses their music to criticize the government and maybe the inefficiencies of our leaders, then people will say that person is opposition. If someone sings a song praising the current government or our leaders, people will say most likely that person is in bed with the government. But ideally, let's go back to South Africa and look at Lucky Dube.
Yes.
He used to sing music that was unifying. He sang songs like Different Colors, One People, and that music was a call to action. Let us unite. We are all the same people. We are only separated by our color. Coming back here to Uganda, let's look at our fallen legends like Philly Bongole Lutaya. His music had no color. It had no tribe. You will find a Munyankole, a Muganda, all of us singing the same song. Now, taking from what you said, the people who shaped our music in the past, if they were here today, what message would they be telling? I think as Ugandans, to begin with, us who support these artists, us who listen and buy their music and go to their concerts, we need to stop expecting our artists to not speak about things because we don't agree with what they are saying. If an artist thinks that the NRM is doing a good job, let him, by all means, as a Ugandan, he has a right to praise the government, to praise our leaders if he thinks they've done a great job. Because, like we say, beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. I can't say, our road is so bad, and someone says, but they just worked on the drainage system. So someone will decide to take the positive and another person to take the negative. And then if another artist criticizes the government, let us not say, that person is fighting us. I think we are failing our artists, and we have reached a point, they have reached a point where now they're afraid to speak up. And yet, music, since time immemorial, has been used to effect change. Artists have sung about some issues that society is grappling with, and because of that, there have been policies that have been drawn or changed. There has been work done because of the message that they have put forward. But now we are at a point where if I say banange binye Kampala or you are NUP, if I say banange ngudu banaye bakoze ngudu, have you been up country? Someone says, oh yeah.
I know,
you get. So it's very hard for the artists, because this is what butters their bread. It's very hard for them to say, you know what, I think KCCA is doing an amazing job. People will be like, this person, no. So it puts them between a rock and a hard place.
As a society, we are entitled.
We
to a certain degree, we don't express ourselves objectively.
Exactly, there is no objectivity,
objective about ourselves,
and we are politicking.
We are politicking everything.
Meaning we are judging people using a political yardstick, if I'm to say so.
And if you think about it, the reality is many, on ground level, many people have ideas about certain things without facts. They'll actually make noise about certain things that, oh, maybe the road is bad, which is true, it is bad. But they haven't looked into the detail of things. Who dropped the ball? Who was supposed to answer? Who? They'll just go with the wave without necessarily questioning what, why, where did the ball drop. And
sometimes it's those leaders you like very much at the local level that have failed you, but
yes,
you will be thinking,
I think it also opens up room for us to be very objective when it comes to politics, and Olive does share a very critical concern here that many of us do judge these musicians based on their takes. Whether it's an objective political take, we tend to think that they belong to a given side. And yet they're also Ugandans like ourselves, and they have to make an opinion on the same. When you look at some of the artists that made some songs back in the day, for example, during the days of apartheid, the likes of Miriam Makeba, Hugh Masekela, Brenda Fassie, name it, many of these ones did produce songs that were vital in the struggle to put an end to apartheid in South Africa. It might not have been actively engaging in politics, but of course, their voice was very important in the same. So we have also seen the rise of musicians here in Uganda doing so by speaking against any sort of poor policy making in the country. We've also seen others also praising the government where praise is supposed to be, because let's face it, however much we've seen so many issues with the government, there are also those achievements that you cannot leave without giving kudos to the same. So we've seen artists who have also come out to speak about what they're seeing and what they're observing. But besides that, let me get to Olive. When you look at where we've come from as a country, it seems now it is a politics of rage, politics of anger that we have. So if at all you're not siding with what your fan wants, then they will think you're against the rule of the people, or you're against the will of those who belong to a certain political party. How can we change this kind of narrative and, in fact, enable other entertainers join politics?
I think as a country, and this goes back to us, the Mwananchi, we need to get away from the politics of popularity and look at issues. We look at capability. Back in the day, I don't remember, I don't know whether you guys were born or you were of understanding age. There was a time we had a cabinet where you could name off ministers off your fingers, but not only name them off, you knew their achievements in their districts before they became constituencies. You knew, whereby if he came to canvass for votes, people would be like, no, this person was supposed to maybe add his voice for us to get A, B, C, D, and they haven't. Or they would be like, because of his voice, government decided to give us a referral hospital. We have a health center for and whatnot. Today, someone will come, excite us, bring some artists, sing for us, and then we vote. What are you voting? What are you voting? It's important for us to recognize that we are who we put in parliament. If we decide to fill our parliament with artists that have not proved to us they can deliver, then we shouldn't be the same people complaining in 2027 that ever since we voted artist A, we've never seen that artist in parliament. For instance, I don't know if it's okay for me to name names, but imagine if a constituency decided to elect full figure to parliament.
The presidential advisor.
Would they come back and say, she's not representing our needs as a constituency? Would they really come back? Because at the end of the day, you have to look at someone's capability. So you love your artists, but are they able to do what you want them to do when they go to parliament? We should get away from the politics of popularity, and that's what we did in 2021. We voted people because of popularity, because of which party, because of there is a wind. Okay, where has the wind swept you? Have they approved?
I see Olive is shaking tables with people's juice and soda.
No, she's got a point, because when you look at the politics of popularity have led us to quite a number of things. One, blaming ourselves for the quality of people we voted. We didn't give them, we didn't give ourselves the chance to understand who are we taking into parliament. But then also, I think it also goes back to the fact that many Ugandans have been tired of seeing other intellectuals or elites getting into parliament and also doing the absolute opposite of what was expected of them. And Julie, this makes me pose a question to you. What do you think we should do moving forward when it comes to choosing the entertainers that we want, or let's say former entertainers or former celebrities?
Well, some of them are still entertainers.
Not only, some of them are celebrities.
Okay, what does it?
In the field,
yeah, they're still in the
active,
field.
yes.
What should we consider? Should we take their status as this is so and so, a giant in the industry, or we should think about what they produce?
Oh, well, thank God that we're having this conversation in the year 2025, because it's a political year, very active in politics, and that means that we still have an opportunity to now pay more attention, all right? That means as citizens, we are not playing blame games. We are not pointing fingers at who went to parliament and did not do what, who we sent to parliament and they failed to do what or say what. However, now this is the time we have to pay close attention to their words, to their actions. What are they saying? What is their mindset on different issues affecting you and I as a Ugandan? Will they actually represent your views? Will they represent what's hurting you as a Ugandan, or what do you want to see in your country as a Ugandan? So I think this period is the opportunity we have, and as a society, I think we have to have mindset change. Read a lot.
All right.
Those newspapers are there for you to read intensively.
All right, now let me turn my attention to Studio B. We have Andrea Baguma. Now, Andrea Baguma has been here already performing for us. I want to take his comment on our conversation this morning. Andrea, you are a performer. You are in the industry of music and entertainment. So literally in the space of celebrities that we are having a conversation about. What is your take on the celebrities endorsing and having their involvement in active politics today?
Celebrities is a big word. Because celebrities a politician can be a celebrity as well. But if we are talking about artists,
yes,
I think artists are leaders naturally. They are meant to be leaders. And I think they don't need politics to be leaders. But if they need to be politicians, they can as well echo out their voices to join politics. But we don't have to forget the history of musicians who have stood out, to talk about their dissatisfactions with perhaps the government and all those things. Back in 1977, Byron Kawadwa, a playwright, was killed because he wrote a play that was perhaps talking against the government. Yeah, you talked about Lucky Dube and Bob Marley. All those guys were killed. So maybe the reason as why today musicians are not getting involved in politics is the fear of their lives. And also you talked about the politics of rage and anger that we have today, where people are attaching politics to everything. So even when musicians would want to voice, to bring out their voices about their dissatisfactions and what's happening, there is that fear of, I will be attached to a certain political party, I will be attached to a certain, so on and so on. So I feel like musicians and artists should echo their voice because they are leaders. Like they have numbers, they have the capability. And
they have the influence.
Yes, and they have the influence. They have the capability of leading without joining politics. Because once you join politics, you have compromised.
All right, Andrea will be back with the entertainment now. As we're summing up the conversations, just a few comments from the viewers. This one says, good morning, Uganda. Musicians are Ugandans like me and you. As long as they have required qualifications, they are free to fully participate in any political activities in the country. Dixon Munanuzi in Chaliwa Jala Namugongo. Thank you. This one says, musicians should correct their branding and composure, not involving in chicken fights after alcohol. Walking naked on stage makes them lose meaning, but let them join politics so long as they can deliver. Except Uganda politics is too much bent on survival and flavored with power longevity beasts. Thank you. This one says, good morning, Uganda, UBC, thanks for the show. Issues dealing with politics, I'm a fan of it. You guys, I learned more from you. I'm William Pius Walugembe in Makere. Thank you. And this one says, good morning, great UBC team. Celebrities are people who mix up with the societies freely at different levels, age, educational levels, wealth, and sometimes they are able to visibly see the gaps that need to be filled, i.e. poverty levels in the country, employment, infrastructure, name it. Celebrities are people who like to associate themselves with good things. So someone would love to have a great country like the US, yet we have the resources in our own country. Look at the mineral depots. Mention it all. I'm Godfrey Fitz. Thank you, Godfrey. Lastly, Mokisa Alan from Chengera Town Council says that the problem we have is corruption and we should stop voting parties. We vote people who are willing to work for us Ugandans, and celebrities are poor and they join politics to eat. We have lost important MPs because of that. They should stay in music like Madame. Okay. Thank you very much for your comment, and to your dear viewer for being part of this conversation. When we do return, we have Olivia Namakula, who is going to be ushering us into the gospel realm this very Friday. Good morning.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
In a nation hungry for truth, a world where every story matters, there exists a beacon of trust and reliability. For decades, they've been our voice and our window to the world, holding the mirror of our history. With 4 TV stations and 11 radio channels spanning 27 languages, they stand as guardians of information, defenders of truth. With Mascari Heritage Advantage, they uphold every citizen's right to reliable and free information. Their archive stories shaped our past and illuminate our present. Yet now, as new challenges arise and the world evolves, their mission faces its greatest test yet. Be part of our journey and let's navigate the unknown, uncover the untold, and safeguard our future together. Tune into your public broadcaster, for it is the intersection of trust and truth. Because to UBC, your story, every story, and every voice matters. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Pick of the day on UBC.
One-on-one with Michael Jordan Lukomwa.
A weekly face-to-face conversation focusing on accountability, inspiration, information, and sensitization of the public from the various sources, such as inspirational profiles.
Having a disability is not inability.
Every Friday 9 p.m., it's one-on-one with Michael Jordan Lukomwa.
Don't you see anywhere that you would give a credit in the fight against COVID?
My role as the owner of the country is not to, be preoccupied by giving credit to my servant.
We have said that if we are to talk to General Museveni, there must be certain conditions in place.
Is it true that you paid 5 million shillings to MPs that voted for?
Was brought to you by.
I'll call you every day, yeah, yo, baby, don't know.
You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks. Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000. Or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100*21# and select daily, or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
In a nation hungry for truth, a world where every story matters, there exists a beacon of trust and reliability. For decades, they've been our voice and our window to the world, holding the mirror of our history. With 4 TV stations and 11 radio channels spanning 27 languages, They stand as guardians of information, defenders of truth. With Mascari Heritage Advantage, they uphold every citizen's right to reliable and free information. Their archive stories shaped our past and illuminate our present. Yet now, as new challenges arise and the world evolves, their mission faces its greatest test yet. Be part of our journey and let's navigate the unknown, uncover the untold, and safeguard our future together. Tune into your public broadcaster, for it is the intersection of trust and truth. Because to UBC, your story, and every voice matters. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Good morning, Uganda. It's about 7 minutes after 8 a.m. and welcome back from the Trill. But right now, let's get into some moments to praise the Lord, worship the Lord, and definitely start our day with the Lord. In studio with us is Olivia Namakula, a gospel artist who is going to bless us with amazing worship, amazing music, amazing praise, all to the glory of the Lord, but definitely and ultimately to impact you and have your day empowered and filled with gusto to take it on as it goes by. Olivia, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm okay by God's grace.
Oh, glory to God. It's good to see you.
See you.
Are you well?
I'm okay.
How was your journey to the set?
Wow, it was amazing because it was very morning, very cold. But we thank the Lord because we are here.
All right. Let's just find out a little about who Olivia is. Olivia, watandika dio kuyimba ekisokera ddala gwani osabira wa?
Yeah, manya gange nzina Namakula Olivia. I pray from Makelful Gospel Church. My pastor is Pastor Wantante.
Musumba ali atya?
Musumba mulungi nnyo kubanga akyali ku mulamu atukoze bulungi nnyo. Kyova olaba tukyajulira nti Yesu ye Mukama. Era ndi mu buweereza obw'okuyimba mu Mukama mwe yansinkana nange nentandika okuyimba.
Oyimba mu kwaya?
Nyimba mu kwaya.
For
a long time.
Ebbanga ki?
Like almost 10 years. So it has been my training ground. I thank the Lord because most of my songs I back myself. So njizeemu bingi.
Banga chinga oyimba gospel music ovudde ku kwaya?
Natandika last year, 2003, omwezi gwali gwa mwenda. So katugulinga mwaka gumu na kitundu.
Omanyi abantu abasinga batandika okuyimba gospel ng'abamu bali ku vibe, abamu nti Mukama yampita, abamu nakera bukeezi n'asalawo nga tasoose kirowoozaako. Ekyo kyali kitya?
Ekyange Mukama yayogera nange okuyita mu birooto n'atandika okumpa ennyimba nemba ne bye neekwasaako nga naabisobola nga bya bbeeyi nayingira ntya mu music industry naye olw'ekisa kya Mukama Katonda nangamba you need to step out of your comfort zone. So I had to step out of my comfort zone nenkola ekyo era ndabye nga Mukama akimpeeramu omukisa. That's why I'm here this morning. Yeah, kuba singa nagaana I hesitate nandibadde nga ne wano sandi kutegedde nange tewandintegedde. So I thank the Lord for his goodness.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, Olivia says that she has done music, professional music, since end of 2023.
Yeah.
End of 2023, but she worships in church at Makerere Full Gospel, and the Lord called her into it through different revelations. At first, she was quite hesitant, like all humans would be, but still she had to be obedient and take on the call. What good things have you got from obeying the Lord?
Wow, there are so many. Sometimes I go to places even I could not imagine. I sit with great men and women of God, many members of parliament. Nebakuyita nawe nogenda noga, Mukama, I'm not qualified even to be here, but because you answered to the call, the Lord is faithful. Uliao Mukama nyanjudde eri abantu abanene kwegamba Mukama ndaba gyendaga yakyenyiza okugamba sinatuuka, but kuba Mukama olugendo mwali, so I will reach.
Olivia, who writes your music?
Nze kennyini. Situla n'empandiika ne bwe ngenda mu kusaba. That's where I got the songs, through prayer, deep prayer, and worship, reading the word, meditating about his goodness. It's where the Lord speaks to my heart, give me revelation. I start hearing songs, singing, ringing in my mind. Enyimba nizifuluma bwezityo nizizaalibwa.
And who produces your music? Do you have a specific producer?
Yeah, Jacob Beats, Aliawe Salam. He's a good guy.
Amazing. Now we'll allow Olivia to just give us a bit of that praise session and worship, and a little while after we'll get back to talking to her and finding out actually what her take is on today's trend on gospel music. As many gospel artists, for some it's more about the celebrity status, and for some it's about the call, just like for her, and just find out what her 2 cents are in regards to that. But for now, enjoy worship and praise from Olivia Namakula.
Amen. Hallelujah. We thank the Lord because we are here. Jesus, be exalted in this place. As we worship you, Father, we thank you for your grace. We thank you for your mercies. We thank you for your love, Lord. You are beautiful beyond description. Thank you for today. We are here for you. Thank you for your grace. Take all the praises, Jesus. Take all the worship, oh God. Hallelujah. We love you, Lord. Tukuimusa Yesu. Twale chitiwa. Mukama ekisakyo kyatujja Magombe. Ekisakyo kyatujja gye twali Mukama ne kituleeta tukusinze. Weebala olw'ekisakyo Yesu. We worship. We worship. Buli renkulowooza neneewunya ekisa. Buli renkufumitirizaako neneewunya okwagala. Sikuba nsaanidde sikubangwanite. But because of your mercy, osiziwe echisacho chansi chemagombe echisacho champalula chenali echisacho mazima chankomya wojoli ngachimbudabuda ngachimberera omubyonna ngachinwanira echisa echitaina muwendo chimpalute nechindeta woli kusinze buli ekiri n'obulamu kisize buli alina olulimi ayatule erinnya lyo Yesu buli ekiri n'obulamu kisize ekisakyo kyanzije magombe ekisakyo mpalula jenali ekisakyo mazima kyankomyawo gy'oli ngachimbudabuda ngachimbererawo mu byonna ngachinwanira ekisa buli ekiri n'obulamu kisize buli ekiri n'obulamu kisize buli ekiri n'obulamu kisize ekimuse kitende Yesu ndi mulamu lwa kisakyo Tata wange kankusize kutende osanide kabaka kisize buli ekiri n'obulamu kisize obulamu kisize Yesu buli ekisa omukka wansi w'ensi ne waggulu w'ensi byonna bisize Yesu omwoyo wa Mukama tuwanirira olwaleero nga tusize erinnya lyo nga tuyimusa ekitiibwa kyo tutwale ku nnamulondo ya taata tukusiiza Katonda omulamu tuggulumiza Katonda ow'amaanyi we give you glory, we give you honor. Take your place, Jesus. Hey, here we come, hey. Osanide ekitiibwa olwaleero Yesu omwoyo wa Mukama akunta mbambatira omwoyo wa Mukama twala ku nnamulondo ya taata omwoyo wa Mukama mbambatira omwoyo wa Mukama akunta bambatira moyo wa Mukama twala kuna mulondo ya tata moyo wa Mukama bambatira panirira omponye ebinuma hey panirira omponye ebinfuluka panirira omponye ebinkabya bamanye bategere nga gwe Katonda bamanye bategere nga gwe Katonda panirira omponye ebinuma panirira omponye ebinfuluka panirira omponye ebinkabya bamanye bategere nga gwe Katonda bamanye bategere nga gwe Katonda w'abalamu si Katonda w'abafu yateesa omuyaga gwe Katonda w'abalamu si Katonda w'abafu yateesa omuyaga osaanidde Yesu twala ekitiibwa kwateesa omuyaga twala amaanyi n'obuyinza Yesu teri kikulema siizo nange ayinza byonna talemwa mwesigwa asobola tukuyimusa Yesu yegwateesa emiyaga egy'ensi eno yegwasangula amasiga yegwawonya endwadde zitawonyezekebwa gwayamba abatalina ayamba tukusinza olwaleero gwayimusa abakooye abazitowereddwa osaanidde ekitiibwa gwe Katonda w'abalamu si Katonda w'abafu gwateesa emiyaga gwe Katonda w'abalamu si Katonda w'abafu gwateesa omuyaga gwe Katonda w'abalamu si Katonda w'abafu gwateesa omuyaga gwe Katonda w'abalamu si Katonda w'abafu gwateesa omuyaga yegwe Yesu yegwateesa omuyaga yegwe Yesu yegwateesa omuyaga mukowola bisobola yegwe amaanyi gago gwateesa omuyaga yegwe yayawusa ennyanja asobola wakitiibwa talemererwa ateesa omuyaga
yatesa, yatesa, yatesa muyaga, yatesa muyaga, yatesa, 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 yatesa muyaga, yatesa muyaga, hey, hey, yes, yatesa, yatesa, yatesa muyaga, yatesa muyaga, ye katonda w'abalamu, si katonda w'abafu, yatesa muyaga, yatesa muyaga, ye katonda w'abalamu, si katonda w'abafu, yatesa muyaga wange, yatesa muyaga, mukowole kumachakorale, oh yasobola Yesu, oyo yatesa muyaga, yatesa muyaga, yono amate amani gange gasiri namani, Yesu yekwe omato buyambi bwange gasiri nayamba, bwenkabye nosirisa Mukama, bwenkute nonyimusa mukwano, kankwebaze Yesu, webale Yesu, kankwebaze Yesu, sime yono amate amani gange asiri namani, Yesu yekwe omato buyambi bwange asiri nayamba, bwenkabye nosirisa Mukama, bwenkute nonyimusa mukwano, kankwebaze Yesu, webale Yesu, baze Yesu, simye yono amate amani gange gasiri namani, Yesu yekwe omato buyambi bwange gasiri nayamba, bwenkabye nosirisa Mukama, bwenkute nonyimusa mukwano, kankwebaze Yesu, webale Yesu, kankwebaze Yesu, simye kankwebaze Yesu, webale Yesu, webaze Yesu, simye kankwebaze Yesu, webale Yesu, webaze Yesu, simye, oh, simye.
Amen, amen, amen. Woohoo! Glory to God. Thank you very much, Olivia. Thank you for blessing us. Good morning, Uganda. I believe you have been blessed. And in case you are dealing with anything in regards to life, as life might have it, I believe that you have been impacted. I believe that your spirit has been fed. Glory to God, Olivia Namakula. Yes, please. So quickly, in just a second, just before we left off, I asked you what you think about gospel music in Uganda being a celebrity status kind of thing or a place of being called by God.
Nti woba ng'oli mulokole ng'oli muyimbi oba wayitibwa Katonda ne woba onoonya fame tebiina bwe bikwataganira. Tebiina bwe bikwataganira. What is your motive when you start something? the end of the matter is very important than the beginning. Kumanga Katonda waba yakuyita, you've come to worship him. Ate ye gwosinza era yaba ino kuyimusa. But this is not about publicity. This is not about fame, but it's about worshiping the Lord. So for me, my motive is to worship the Lord, because the Bible says that when you exalt me, I will exalt you.
Amen.
Yeah, when you exalt God, God exalts you and bring many to you. So that is my motive. But abalala, they have their motives and their goals. Some of them are called, but when they reach there, everything changes.
Amen. Yeah. A word to our wise is enough indeed, and the end of the matter is what matters, as Olivia has said. And if you're a gospel artist, just as she has said, you are called by the Lord. So any other thing outside of that, you should check yourself. But on that note, where do we find your music?
Look on YouTube. You go and look for Namakula Olivia Music, Spotify, Amazon, every music platform. I'm there on radios, TVs. My music is played by God's grace.
Amen. Amen. All right, Olivia Namakula, thank you for coming through. You have surely blessed us this morning, and I believe you have been blessed as well. Good morning, Uganda does continue.
Good morning.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Hi, my name is Jerome Paul Sonko, and I've been a co-host of Morning Uganda. I've been a team member of the Morning Kickstarter show here on the National Broadcaster. An amazing experience it has been for myself to be part of this amazing team, a team that inspires your mornings as a viewer. So I started out on the 12th of August 2023. That's about 18 months back, and I will be making around 1.7 months next month. And well, it's quite fortunate and unfortunate at the same time that I'm here to say it won't be possible to make 1.7 months, so I would stick to the 1.6. However, my first few months with the team were a few months of learning new things. There were months of adaptability, months of getting to understand how mornings work on national television, especially when it comes to current affairs, political broadcasting, business, and all of that. And of course, with a huge appreciation to a colleague that left us earlier, Chantal Oliver Kandinda, who was a friend, besides the fact that we are on the team together, but the connection and the relationship we had on air kind of made it easier for me to sync within the team. And when you also look at the backroom staff, or the people behind the production, Davis Kama, Kauzi Julius, at the same time you're looking at people within the control room, at Aunt Christine, Fiona, Pedita, Rose, Allen, all of those have been very pivotal. And of course, not forgetting Famba. I normally call him Famba Daniels, an amazing guy at whatever he's doing. But then also the side of the production, a huge thanks I said to the main producer, Robert Pimatiriam, first for the opportunity that was granted to me to represent the views of so many Ugandans, millions of Ugandans on air, and of course for always pushing me to be the best that I can. But then also our main team leader or team host, Olive Monica Najuma, for leading the conversation along the way. And then Chirabo Robert Nyintono, who is the head of the presenters here at UBC. They've all been pivotal in ensuring that this journey becomes an amazing experience for myself. And of course, not to forget the likes of Shafiq, not to also forget Molondo, also not to forget Godwin, and then how am I forgetting Brother Ratoro, an amazing camera person who has been there along the way to also support me in the journey of broadcasting. Well, of course, at this time, I want to just say I've learned so many things with the morning show. I've done over 500 broadcasts ever since I arrived here, live broadcasts, that's to say. And for the entire team at at UBC that has given me the opportunity to shine, to also be the star that I am, or the star that you see every morning, and then also to make this moment to appreciate you, the viewer, who has always been keeping us up to speed. At times I've been meeting people along the way saying, whatever you've been talking about is impactful, keep doing yourself, keep doing what you do, it is amazing. So it keeps us moving every other day. And then the drivers that have always been bringing us in the morning, that normally bring us very early in the morning, is one called Simon, there's one called Michael Tor, and of course along the way there were also some challenges that I've encountered, but of course for any team to move forward, you have to adopt and see how you can deal with the challenges henceforth. So for now, I'll be joining the part of you, the viewer, as an audience of Good Morning Uganda, but of course, as I try other ventures into my career. For now, I thank you all for being part of this amazing journey of Joram Paul Sonko JP Live of Good Morning Uganda. We keep inspiring Ugandans, and to you, our dear viewer, thank you for always waking up with us.
Tomorrow feels like a very bad dream I don't want to wake up from, but Sonko, you are going to be dearly missed, and I can't forget that you were the very first person to buy me breakfast at work. But of course, your infectious laughs, your support, and your terrible jokes, but also you have this incredible ability to lighten up every room, and that is going to be missed for sure. But I believe you're going on to better things, and I'm proud, very, very proud of you, and I can't wait to see you get to better heights. This is not a goodbye, but I'll see you later.
Joram Paul Sonko, I'm really going to miss saying those names every single morning when we roll out for Good Morning Uganda. But you've been a great part of the show because you always had beautiful days. You encouraged us to look forward to that day, because you always said it's going to be a beautiful day, even if it was just a Monday. It's going to be a beautiful week. I'm really going to miss you because you were one person that was dependable. You show up every single time, but of course the humor and all the fun behind the cameras, things people never get to see on the screen. I'll miss all that. Most importantly, I'll miss the chemistry we had on the show and how you supported me in doing a good job. But I wish you the very best wherever you're going. I know I'll see you around in this town. Go call it abantu.
Sonko is a well-wisher, and one good turn deserves another. So I'm wishing him all the best. For the time I have been around him, all I've seen is someone who wishes well for you, someone who pours himself into you, someone who wants you to be the best version of yourself. And I know to wherever he's going, where the journey takes him, the sky is not even the limit. It's above and beyond. What I am missing about Sonko, it's his joy. He's a joyful person, very cheerful. Even when he's teaching you, he teaches you with a lot of gusto and joy. And that is one of the things I am going to miss about Paul, that I'm so happy and excited for where next life takes him. So good luck, Sonko, and I wish you all the best.
Well, Joram Paul Sonko, I usually refer to him as the young lad, because indeed I must say he's been the youngest presenter with us. But one thing I always remember is his positive attitude towards things. And usually they say your attitude determines your altitude. Indeed, he would wake up every day and he would tell you, Robert, I'm sure this is going to be a good week. This is going to be a good month. I'm sure this is going to be a good week, a good month. So Paul is always positive, and what I can tell him is maintain that positive attitude towards anything, and I guarantee you, Paul, wherever you are, your attitude will determine your altitude. Fly higher. We're gonna miss you, no doubt about that, and I will always miss those jokes and the light moments we had together. But I'm also very happy that in my career I had an opportunity to work with a young man as good as you.
It's been a wonderful journey. 1.5 years moving with you, Joram Paul. When I first got you as a young man, I saw the potential in you, and I took a risk to say, okay, let me give him a chance. And little did I know that I am giving a genius a chance. You've excelled, you've performed, you've given your all to the morning show. I want to wish you the very best in your new chapter. I want to say thank you for the dedication, for the perfection, for the interest, for the love of what you do. You've been a pillar in the production and we'll miss you.
A colleague, a friend, and I would say along the way even became a family. I worked as his producer as a sound-up, and I think he's one of the guys who was really, he was dedicated. And being dedicated means that it enabled us to execute our assignments on time. And definitely, as he joined the group, I told him he has a very good, he has a future in the industry, in the media, but he really needs to be, work so hard, work smart. And also, I think along the way, because depending on where he's going, if you need to do some analysis, because I'm certain he's still going to be in the media industry, he'll have to do a lot of research so that he can stand up. But anyway, he's been our guy and we'll miss him, but definitely he's within this city, so we'll definitely hook up and execute that, and of course do some other projects out of this place where it does not necessarily mean that he has to be a UBC staff.
Joram Paul Sonko is an upward-looking young man with a very promising future. He's full of energy, he's full of passion for what he does. When you give him a target, he exceeds it. Now, it is that passion and attitude combined that will take him from one level of glory to another. For us as people who want to see young people grow and progress, we cannot help but simply wish him very well indeed. Because you know, you can never put down a good person. When somebody is really good, he is really good. And the world will always reward good deeds. And I think Sonko is ready for the world to reward him because he expresses himself fully. So for me, as somebody who worked with him, I can tell you that his attitude is fantastic, and everybody would want to have a good attitude because it is easier to train the other human traits, but attitude is a very difficult thing. You cannot buy it anywhere. So I wish Sonko very well indeed.
Very knowledgeable person. Sonko has been a guy who makes research about everything he's going to do or he's going to present. Those are some of the things I have learned about him. We are going to miss him, and what I can say, I just wish him well in his new journey.
Yes, Joram Paul Sonko. Wow, this guy has been very, you know, I work with him every day, like, you know, making sure he's set on air. But every time you reach here, you just see vibe. Like every day sounds new to him, and every day is like a new day. Yeah, abada akolera abantu. Don't forget that term for like tukolera abantu. Yeah, Joram Paul Sonko, all the best. Gendo sigale ngokolera abantu. Nafe tugenda sigala nunga tukakalabya. Tugenda sigala nunga tukolera abantu.
Joram has been a very good person, very ethical. He listens. He gives respect to people. We are going to miss him so much. But me, as a mother, like a mature person, I just wish him well. Mwana wange Joram, yonna gy'oba ogenze, kwagaliza mirembe.
And I'm so happy kuwe chiroto change chitugiride. Cause I've been working so hard and I've been praying so hard. Amanye visera nesala ngaye formula. I'm a winner, I'm a fighter, nwanye ero lutalo nduwangude kati tuimbe ntisaya pate mwekuja tucheze sanyuka nange kubawala gyenvudde naawe sawa ya pate mwekuje tucheze sanyuka nange kubanga wala gyetuvudde naawe. It's from love that I got this. La 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 kakata. Love from Papa, love from my mama, and love from my sister, and love from my brother, and love from you, my workmates. Mazmawe mutari simanyi simanyi. Together we said we can, and together we fought and won. Now together let's shout and sing. Now together everybody shout and sing. I'm a winner, I'm a fighter, nwanye erolo talondo wangu de.
Wow. Dear viewer, if you're just joining us, this is quite heart-wrenching, and it's actually hard for me because today is the day after we've worked together since August 2023 up until this minute. I will not say and my co-host Jerome Paul Sonko anymore, because Jerome Paul Sonko's journey with Uganda Broadcasting Corporation comes to an end today. We've had such a beautiful time working together. Jerome Paul is highly professional, but also away from what you see on air, he's such a kind person. He's full of humor. He's the person that makes everyone in studio laugh about something. He makes light of any situation. And before the show starts, before the curtains roll, and before the cameras come on, he's the person that makes you believe that today is going to be a beautiful day. Over 500 episodes of Good Morning Uganda live broadcast. Sonko has been here, has been intentional, has been the guy you can count on to show up every single day. When he's gone to the field, he has brought a brightness to our show because of the mastery he has exhibited while performing and also carrying out interviews in the field, and of course on other shows that he has hosted here at Uganda Broadcasting Corporation, like the Business Roundup. He has also has been the beautiful, amazing, and experienced host of the Front Bench. Sonko has been everywhere. His footprint is going to stay here because he has touched the lives of the young people here at Uganda Broadcasting Corporation, and I believe he has influenced them to become better people and also to seek for more. Sonko has been the person that shows you that his future is bright, even without knowing it, maybe sometimes. I'm going to miss him. I'm going to miss him as my co-host. I'm going to miss him as a friend. Of course, we'll remain friends, we'll talk, but you know, many people think that go to work, do your job, go home. But then there are people who make your work bright. There are people who make the team move forward. And honestly, with the job that we do, if you are not a team, if you're not working together, if you're not seeing eye to eye, the chemistry that you see on your screens will not be seen and will not be felt. And Sonko has been the kind of person that makes you believe that we are in this together, we are all winning, we are here to do a good job, to serve Ugandans, and serving Ugandans he has. We are going to miss Jerome Paul, but oh my goodness, this is not easy. But Jerome, I want you to know wherever you go that you're loved, that you're respected as a journalist, that we believe in you and we see your future. Other things I told you off air. But yes, as we come to the end of this journey with Uganda Broadcasting Corporation, I know you already shared your message and your insights, but please talk to us about your experience one more time.
Well, first off, I thought it was going to be an easy kind of experience when you're saying goodbye. But the past 4 weeks has got me to think that it's never easy to say goodbye to people that you've gotten used to. The first hit of self-reflection I got yesterday was,
on Monday, it is not going to be the usual me waking up at 4, sharing stories and telling people or having conversations in the group that this is what we are going to be having for the newsreel. This and this is making headlines, or sharing some, funny screenshots of people's reactions on social media regarding other things. But when it comes to my experience or how it has been here for the past 18 months is that, one, it's never an easy journey when you're starting. If at all the team members you're having are not supportive, and if at all they are not willing to push you to where you want to be, and I kind of think my team members have been, you people have been very, very kind to me. I want to say you people have been the best team I have worked with in media, and I also want to say that along the way, I don't think I have had a lot of issues with teammates here. It's not like we've had issues where we have struggles and we have to go on air after having a confrontation or something like that. And it's something I really thank God. But on top of it, I want to also appreciate the entire management of UBC. This does not come easy, and I've been telling a few people that I've been encountering along the compound or the entire institution that, at times you do not have to feel sad that this is happening, but you have to feel happy that you've been part of it. Because along the way, our paths will still cross, because we are in a field that is always going to bring us together. It's not easy for me to always say goodbye, and especially when it comes to seeing how people have been attached to you in terms of friendship, in terms of the conversations that I've been holding with everyone here, and the bond I have built. And also in the shortest time, I've also been able to build bonds with the new team members, and that also means a lot. And to me, I think as I step out today from Good Morning Uganda, I believe it has been a huge milestone for me to even be part of the team in the first place. First off, because I was given the opportunity to be part of the team. That is something I always and will remain thankful to. But on top of it, I think with everyone who is working here, everyone in the background, in the camera people, TX control, I think it is time for me to say thank you. I think it's the best word I can use, is thank you very much for being part of this amazing journey. Thank you for always throwing in jokes. Whenever I'm hungry, I've always been seeing people asking me questions about when are you bringing to us a madam. Unfortunately, I've come to realize that there is a madam here I would have taken. But it seems I have to leave her here, so maybe
you can come back and pick her.
Maybe I'll come back and pick her immediately after our segment.
Anyway,
but besides that, thank you very much.
No, yes, and you will give us your last word before we close. But I would like to hear from Julie. Julie has just joined the team. We unveiled her last week, and she became an active member of Good Morning Uganda this Monday. But I believe that you two have formed a bond even in that short period of time. So Julie, what's your last message to Joram?
Oh, wow. One of the things that are so awkward about me is I'm emotional. I've known Joram for just a month, and I did not think I'd be this emotional, so I don't want to cry in front of the camera. But Joram has been such an encourager. I'm new to the team, but Joram has made me believe that I can make it. Passionately believe that I can make it. And many times you remember his jolly, cheerful nature telling you that, no, you got this. So just do this. He directs you, gives you the methods to, you remember, you're encouraged, you're calm, you're firmer in the fact that he was once on the same lane and he knows what it's like. You do not know, but he does. And he's encouraging you, and it strengthens you. So Joram, you're such an encourager. You've made me believe in myself even more than I had ever at the point I joined. And I want to say thank you. Let me give you your flowers, Let me give you your flowers and say thank you. I'm looking forward to what life has for you, but the sky is not the limit.
The sky is indeed not the limit. Now, back in 2023, when Joram Paul Sonko had just joined us here at Uganda Broadcasting Corporation, Robert Chirabo Nyonyintono did us the honors of welcoming him onto the team. Robert, today is a different kind of day.
Well, I must first of all thank God for having worked with a young man like you, Sonko. And much as I did welcome you on the team, there's one thing I've learned from you as you're leaving, because in life we meet so many people. But if you don't learn a thing from people you meet, then life has no meaning. You've always had a positive attitude towards everything, I must say. Offset, sometimes I used to move with this guy on the bike and have a simple chat out there. But one thing Joram would tell you, Uncle Bob, tuja chikola. Like, but does this young man know what he's saying, tuja chikola? So wherever you go, Joram, because so much has been said, wherever you go, Joram, please maintain that positive attitude, that things are possible. I've learned it from you. I know I can climb all walls, but please, please. And lastly, be a good ambassador of Good Morning Uganda. We started your journey, always be our ambassador. I don't want to say so much to get emotional, because men, we are not supposed to get to that level. But from the bottom of my heart, I'm going to miss you, young lad, to be honest.
And Joram Paul has been a big advocate of men actually being present in their feelings. Also, he's been a great advocate of the girl child. We've had many conversations regarding the girl child, and Joram has been resonating with them and feeling empathetic for them. So Joram, please, I don't want to wake up and find you on X being one of the people that say bad things about the girl child. I trust you.
I can never.
Well, Joram, the moment of awakening comes, we have to say goodbye. Goodbye is the saddest word, but for us we will say we will meet again. So it's not goodbye, it is just a pause. We'll see you very soon. And the team from Good Morning Uganda organized this for you. So as a parting package, not a package, a parting, Julie, help me here.
It's just see you soon.
See you soon.
Celebration.
I don't know whose idea it was, but I love this cake.
Black Forest, it was me, bestie. So, may you please do us the honors.
Is that it's not happy birthday, it's not
Ani ali mu byuma o. Atuweya kayimba.
Congratulations. So.
But you know, it's good that we have a worshiper on set. So how about we seal it with some good worship?
So that
the Lord covers all.
Cheers to
If you have been a desire, if you have been a desire, this year might be your year.
What the Lord has done, what we've waited for has come to pass. See what the Lord has. One more time, see what the Lord has done. See what the Lord has done. Can you see it today? See what the Lord has done. What we've waited for has come to pass. Oh, see what the Lord has done.
You need to sing that on his weddings.
Hallelujah.
If you have been a desire, if you have been a desire, this year might be your year. You see, I wanted to inspire you to do what you aspire, your desire. Yeah. Somebody gonna marry this year. make the money happen this year. Let me tell you something about this year must be better than last year. It's your year, you know this is your year. It's your year, yeah. And this is my year.
One thing I know for sure is that with our profession, we keep seeing each other. And as you are a viewer, you will also see him somewhere. Wish him the best. He's been an amazing part of the team, a pivotal member of our team. And it's hard to come to the end of something. But today we have to agree that the end has come. Jerome Paul, before the cameras roll out, one last word to Cricket Derek Gagamel from Makindye Luwafu, Mgaga Saurembo, MP Adakendawe, Nasana Municipality, and many others that have been watching you every single morning.
As the cameras roll, I think one other person is a gentleman who has always been waking up with us in Zambia.
Yes.
He has always been sending his comments when we are having our discussion on the newsreel, saying that we always wake him up. We have more entertaining morning shows than what is in their country. So I am very thankful to all of you. Omgaga Saurembo, MP to be Nasa, and I wish you all the best in your political journey. I want to also thank Cricket Derek Gagamel, amongst the very many of our viewers. He once even came here and said hello to all of us. So it's very important because we do this for all of you. And in the same regard, every other day you're supposed to wake up with the spirit of it's going to be a good day. So it's something I want to leave to all of you. Whether you're struggling with something, always have it in your mind that you will always ace it and you'll always be successful in whatever ventures you have to do. But most importantly, treat women good. Make sure that at least that is something you have to keep. Yes, Robert, women are very important to society.
So don't beat women.
Don't beat women. So don't beat women. Do not hurt women. Do not cheat on women. But besides that, please musigalenga mukolera abantu. And also, I'll be a very a very good viewer of the show from the outside, and there is a very special segment that I will always make sure I tune to see
what the Lord has done
when it comes to exploring Uganda, but I'll see other things from the segment. But besides that, I will always be a #1 supporter of the team. Besides that, thank you very much to all of you, to the entire team in production. Fiona, breakfast is on you, I've been told. And
send your last greetings to one person, Jerome. One person.
One.
This is like your one phone call in jail. So one person.
My mother.
On this, okay. Your mother. Okay.
You know
after
why?
your mother.
After,
on this
okay.
Thing. Okay.
My mother, why she wakes up every morning to watch us from the 12th of August 2023, and she has always been asking me what happened to Chirabo's coffee. Because she has always been seeing you sipping your coffee. So yesterday she said she didn't see me on air. She had tuned in at 9. It was time for extra. So I want to say thank you to her for always pushing me. But when you said I ask or I comment on one person.
One person on the team, Tuchigali.
The person on the team.
Yes.
I would be very selfish if I pointed out one person.
This is your opportunity. Okay.
On the team, I have two. Let me say I have two.
Okay.
I have Olive here, and then Dave Saino. We've hustled our way with Dave Saino among so many things. So and then for Olive, we've had conversations at times as we are heading back home. We've held conversations via comments on WhatsApp statuses. So it has been more than just a team member, but more than a friend, I should say. So I want to say thank you to all. And I have a madam in Winnipeg. She's not watching, but Thank you to everybody.
Wow, thank you, dear viewer. And Andrea is going to usher us out of studio, but also usher us into the weekend. Now, next week we will be back with Good Morning Uganda, fresh and reloaded. Jerome Paul won't be here, but I kid you not, you will have a great time because our mandate is to inspire you, educate you, and inform you. So make it a point to join us on Monday morning at 6:30 in the morning so that we do this once again. But from the team and Good Morning Uganda, goodbye, Jerome.
Wow.
I'm a son of a president, though nchasula mu local residency. Diwamanyi tonzala, I dream big and I got a lot of confidence. Nze sebayi on a mansion inga yadde gola bakati ya chasula eri mu ghetto. He who sits in me is the King of Kings. So I worry not cause I know he's got it all. I'm so big, so rich, so VVIP. Wabadde tamanyi ntegeera oyo yenze. I'm a son of a president yenze. Yeah, ninze in a local residence ninze. I'm afraid you might be shocked if I told you that I'm not poor at all. Kuba kafana nyoka tereke cause I'm sure with time oja kuba tochantegeera. Ndi mwana wa mutindo sachisanira nalonde bakatonda. Wakana siku kayanya Yesu lwali kukwata koja kujulira. Oyo yenze, I'm a son of a president yenze. Ninze in a local residence ninze. Oyo yenze, I'm a son of a president yenze. Seba I speak good English. Ziringa bali abajeteke bijeteke. Mukama yansomesa, I hold a degree. I'm so intelligent yet so talented. Mukama nkwebaza wampukukiriza. Bana abasabye nkola manyi balikiriza. Abo balikiriza. Oyo yenze, I'm a son of a president yenze.
This is Good Morning. Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Pick of the day on UBC.
One-on-one with Michael Jordan Lukomwa.
A weekly face-to-face conversation focusing on accountability, inspiration, information, and sensitization of the public from the various sources, such as inspirational profiles.
Having disability is not inability.
Every Friday 9 p.m., it's one-on-one with Michael Jordan Lukomwa.
Don't you see anywhere that you would give a credit in the fight against COVID?
My role as the owner of the country is not to, be preoccupied by giving